All right, now we're going to continue on where we left off. We left off on page 340. It's not going to be that long of a lecture, sorry. But I just thought there was a couple things we need to discuss here about some special methods. Okay, so as we mentioned earlier in the chapter, some special methods. There's a number of them. One of these is the string method, which we're going to write into our code and see it. Okay, now I'm going to bring my planet back up. It's the same one. I think this is the one where I did it, wasn't it? Yeah, this is the one I modified. Let me change the size here and watch it snap the screen on me again. Stupid program. Okay, so we imported it. I'm going to comment this line out. And I'm just going to, that's not a comment. That's a comment. I'm going to say print my, oh, actually I do need that line. Sorry, my fault. Do need that line. Print my planet. I'm going to run it. What's wrong now? Oh, hold on. Means what? We have an issue with it. What is the issue? Let me get this smaller. Okay. Forgot where we left off. Does anyone remember what we did last? Or was I just running Planet? Oh, we were just running Planet. That's why. Wrong program. Okay. Let me get out of here. Get out of here. So let's make sure this one runs, first of all. Let's make sure this program runs. Okay, it does. That's where we did X25 and Bob. Okay. We left off there. I'm trying to get it so we can see it all. Yeah, I couldn't remember what program we were using. So down here, I'm just going to say print my planet. Okay. So the X25 and Bob, that's what we did last time. But we added this thing at the bottom. So I say print my planet, the code right there, print my planet. It actually prints, hey, planet object. It gives me the location in memory, just like we talked about last time. Okay? Now, I want to make a new method. We're going to make the show method. Okay? So I'm going to go into my file here. Now, the easiest way to do this without worrying about the spacing is just copy another method and paste it. Then just, actually I need this line too, don't I? I need that one too. Now I'm going to type show. Just pass itself. Okay. Alright, I'm going to say print. And I'm going to change my, remember we changed the variable names last time? I'm going to get rid of that just so it matches the book. You don't have to, you can leave them the way they were. I think that'll do it. Let's make sure it works. No, I still got it wrong somewhere. Somewhere in my code I'm still, oh there it is, right there. That's the only place I have it? Okay. So we have a show method here, okay? Now, when we run that, I'm going to call show. And the way they do it is down here, okay? I'm going to take out some of these other calls we already have because we don't need all these anymore. I just want to show you kind of what the screen's showing you. I'm taking these out. And I'm just going to say my planet.show. Okay, my planet's different than his. This is my home. I'm just calling my planet. Okay, and I want to, actually we still need this one. I'm going to rename my planet to Earth. Did you all see the news today about we landed a robot on a comet? They said the first time we ever done that. We did it. I saw it. Bruce Willis was in the movie, remember? Armageddon, was that what it's called? Did he do that? The guy didn't have to pay taxes for the rest of his life. Tommy Lee Jones.
He died, actually. He did it.
Bruce Willis died.
Yeah, Bruce Willis died.
So that's why there's been no more diehards. He's dead. So they should have had Die Hard Armageddon. That way they wouldn't have been able to kill him. Okay, let's continue on. So I'm going to run this. And you'll notice it prints out the name of my planet, Earth. How did it do that? Well, I'm going to go back up and look at this method So we defined a method here called show. Okay. Show just says print your name. That's all it says. Print self.name. Remember, self is us. Okay. So when I call myplanet.show, it just prints the name of it. I could modify that. I could set a name. What was some of the other variables in there? Mass. I could actually change this to mass instead of name. Then if I ran it, it would just print out the mass of my planet. Very simple. Okay. So whatever's in the show method is what is doing. So far, so good. Everybody with me? Okay. So let's make sure it works after I change it to name. I don't want to screw something up. Yep, still works fine. Okay, let's continue on. Now, they have print my planet, which we actually already did. Okay. I'm going to comment out this show because we're done with that one. I'm just trying to stick with what the book's doing, so if you're following the book, you can see it. Again, that print out the method name. Okay, so we can still see the entire method, or since we now have a show method, or the entire module, show method, we can actually print out just one component of it. Okay, easy enough to do there. Okay, now here's the one I really wanted to talk about. In Python, there's a special method called str for string. Okay. To use this method, it says, they talk about how it's default. It's actually included with a lot of methods, but we want to be able to return the name. So we're going to create a new method here. So I'm going to take this guy, copy him, and paste him. We're going to call him underscore underscore str underscore underscore. He's going to print name. Easy enough. Now, let's run and make sure he still compiles. Okay. Oh no, we still have an issue. No, hold on. Make sure I didn't do something wrong. What did I do wrong? Print the underscore underscore str. Oh, that's why. It's not print, it's return on that one. Oh, heck, stop it. Okay, so we're just returning name just like they are in the book. Works perfectly. Now we're going to modify our call to it. So we've already done this one. We've already printed my home. Okay, now we're going to call myhome.str. I got to do it in this file. We're going to go over here. And we're going to say myplanet underscore underscore str underscore underscore. So why am I writing it that way? Why am I putting parentheses after it? Does anyone know? Because it's a method. I mean, it's a method right here. We define the method as str, so we have to put the str after it. Okay? So let's see what we get now. Okay? We got absolute. Why did we get nothing? Did I not save that? Oh, because we. Hell, okay, we're gonna have to print this then. We're gonna have to print that because they're running it from the idle prompt and I'm not. So what happens is str returns the name, doesn't actually do any printing. So what I'm saying here is print out what this method returns. Okay. So now I'm going to run it, and now it should print out Earth. It works just fine. But we could also say str my planet. Not that one. Darn, I'm in the wrong file again. Okay. Now we could say str my planet, and it should do nothing. Perfect. But I could also print that just like I printed the other one above it, and we should now get the same result. Ah, I missed it. Oh, there are too many parentheses. Whoa. So I did need that one at the end then. No? Yes, I need one more. There it is. Okay. Now it worked fine. So the difference between what you're reading in the book and what I'm doing here, they're typing it all at the idle prompt. I'm not. I'm actually running it in a file. That's why I have to say print. So what is the big difference between these two statements? Well, this first one was the method we created. Okay. Well, since name is the first option in it, and since str is actually kind of a built-in known method, this one here will automatically print the name as well. Okay. They mentioned that somewhere. It says, we define a method called str to give new implementation as shown in 10.6. The method does not require any art. Yeah, we know that. Method in turn returns a string. We know that. It also demonstrates how you can call the str function from an object automatically by invoking the method, which we just did. It just gave us the ability to print the name just by saying, print my home. Okay. Now ours is my planet. Here's all the different logical views of it, all the different methods. There's my home. You see there's a whole bunch of different methods we created and stuff we can get from them. That's kind of what we have so far. So it's nothing really complex. Okay. And I think that's it, because the next section, if I remember right. Oh no, we didn't cover self yet. Let's talk about self for a second. Okay. Alright, self is similar to this in Java. If I go back and look at my code here, you'll see all these methods have self. See self everywhere in there? See that? Basically saying the calling one, whatever you're calling it from. So when I called set name, my planet was the instance I'm calling it from, so that's why set name printed Bob, because it was saying print the name of my planet. And we end up getting, well, not actually, get names is one of the better choice. Okay, so so the formal parameter self implicitly receives a reference to the object that made the invocation. So when I did this get name here, since this is the object that's calling get name, so my planet's the object, get name is a method that belongs to that object. The self inside of get name, which is right here, actually receives my planet. It just automatically does it. It's one of those things you don't have to worry about. Okay, so automatically receives reference to it. So results can be seen, and like I said, we already walked through all this. We already did get name, stuff like that. So think of self as something you don't. When you're calling it, you do not need to specify it, as in down here. You don't have to say self. But when you're creating your methods, you always need to use self. Now, prior to Chapter 10, we didn't use self. Y'all remember that? Our methods didn't have self in them, but they weren't class methods either. They were just methods. Okay. Now, since we're using class methods, the line right here basically says, hey, create a new instance variable called myPlanet, which is equal to a new instance of the planet object, giving it all these variables. So that's why we have to use self from this point on. Okay. I don't know another way to tell you that, but if you're using class objects, you need to use self. If you're not, if you're just making plain old methods like we did with drawing our turtle in our first couple programs, you don't need to worry about it. You don't have to specify self. Okay. Actually, let me bring up an example here of a different one we did so we can see that. Let me bring up this program here. Okay, because here's my process file. I didn't specify self in this one. See that? The reason I didn't have to specify self is because when I called it, I wasn't calling it from an instance of something. Okay, I was just saying process file. I wasn't saying, Ken's program.process file or something like that. So that's why you don't have to do it. Okay, so it's real basic. Okay, and I think that's it. Well, we don't. Yeah, we've already talked about that as well. We're just showing how to look up stuff. Then the next thing they do is they do the whole thing over again, but create sun and go way more advanced on it, which I'm not going to do. They create a sun class, which is similar to our planet, okay? But then they continue on and add components to it, and they make a solar system class. They go really advanced, and in the end of the chapter, which I'm not going to make you do, you see they're adding all these different planets. Now there's a typo in here. It is this right here. This P right here on page 350 should be an M. Is that right, Chelsea? That's the one you found. So this P right here should be an M, because you'll notice here they're creating sun, then they're passing it as an argument. Creating a P, passing it as an argument. P, argument, P, argument, M, argument. Either that or make this a P, either one. Make this a P or make this an M, one or the other. Then that would solve your problem there. Then what they did there is they were showing all the planets they were creating. They were showing you how they all can work together. And I'm not walking through this because there's no way we could get it all done. It's impossible. You start looking at all this code. Now this is a... did you actually get it all typed in, Chelsea? Almost?
I'm on the second part of it.
Okay. Because it actually draws the planets, which we're going to see. I mean, they go way more than I ever plan on doing here. They draw the planets. Then the next one's even better, where they're calculating the velocity and also the orbit. And you'll see that right. Again, he goes way in depth on that. There ain't no way we're writing all that. But if you ever want to do that on your spare time, it's here. There you go. It actually can run it, and it actually makes the planets go in their orbits. Isn't that kind of cool? So it's cool you can do that. But there's no way. We'll be here forever. There's like 20 things we'd have to write. Yes?
Are you not putting those chapters in before the online?
Oh, you mean the PDF of them?
Yeah.
I can't. I can't print anymore. And if you look, let me show you that. There's a problem with this reader. Now, if I can get access to someone's reader, maybe I'll see if I can borrow Arlene's. See if let me show you why. See right here? I can only print the entire book. But it's already said I printed the entire book. See that right here? The reason is every time I go to print this, when I say print these 10 pages, it prints one. Then it loads the other 9. Then I have to say print the 10 again. So I have to print twice for every time. So I've really only printed half the book, but the stupid program, and I really can't complain to them because I'm not really supposed to be printing out the entire book. I'll ask Arlene if I can borrow her login if she has it, or Scott or somebody, and maybe I'll be able to do that for you, but I can't print anymore. They locked me out. So, yeah. I can do screenshots page by page, but that sucks. So we're not doing that. We'll be here forever. This is screenshot 700. So, no. All right. So,
You have been challenged.
now, so that's it for chapter 10. There's no program required for this one. Okay. It would be handy if you did walk through some of the stuff I walked through and got this whole planet thing working, so you have an idea. Because we will be creating a program that uses a class, but it won't be this one. So, yeah, it would be handy if you got through that one. I mean, heck, I got the whole, up to this point, it's all on video, so you can at least see what I did. Okay. Yes, Mitchell?
Is this supposed to be the substitute for pointers in this language?
What is it supposed to be?
This.
Well, pointers. Okay, what he's referring to is a pointers is something points to an object in memory. That's the easiest way to think about it. And like Java doesn't support pointers, neither does Python. But they do. Because if you think about it, down here, my planet is a location in memory which is pointing to the object. So it's similar to pointers. Very, very, very similar. But newer languages like Java, Python, they no longer refer to them as pointers. I know it's... And if you think about it, even Java does not, they say it does not support functions. A method is a function, a method that returns something is a function. Yet in Java, they don't support functions, yet they return methods that return something. So it's the same thing. So it's that's about as close you're going to get to pointers. I haven't gone in and looked into linked lists and stuff like that, which I don't know if there's another implementation of it, but yeah, that's the best I got for you right now. Okay. I don't even if it did support something, we're not going to get to that point anyway. So we've covered majority of the concepts already. We're going to cover a couple more implementations of some things because But that's about all we're going to do. So, all right. This is a kind of an introduction. This is, for most of you, your first programming class, I'm assuming. Most of you. So, yeah. We're kind of at the point now where I think we've covered enough of it, but we are going to cover a little bit more. So, okay? That answer your question? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So, it would be nice if you could get your Planet class to work. And if you look at the recording, you can see all my code. It's all there. It's literally all there. And I cover most of the methods, not all of them. Okay? And, all right. So that's all for Chapter 10. And we will pick up next time with Chapter 11. We get no Chapter 10 program this time.